Hey pilots, I'm Wes from MotionRC.com, and today we're checking out the XK K130 from here at MotionRC.com. This is a completely ready-to-fly little helicopter that comes in the box with everything you need. The controller, the helicopter, the battery, the charger, extra blades, parts to get it fixed if you do any kind of damages. And part support is available right here at MotionRC if you were to crash it and need some extra parts. Well, without further ado, let's get into the box and let's start checking out what you actually get when you get this kit. So as you get into the box, you're going to notice that everything comes pre-packaged inside of different boxes inside the model. You have your instruction booklets right there on top. Then you have the helicopter that's actually going to come in its own box. And on the inside of it, you'll see there's a vacuum formed piece of plastic. Don't throw all this away though, because it's really good to be able to put this back in the box and transport it to and from the field without your little helicopter getting damaged if you put everything back in the box. The other thing you're going to see is the actual radio comes in its own box also. As you pull that out, you're going to see it has stick protectors that are made out of foam. Make sure you put those back in the box so when you get done flying, you can put your stick protectors back on your radio so you don't damage it, like I said, transporting it to and from the field. So the final box inside of it is your parts kit. Now this is going to include your extra blades, your gear to where if you were to ever strip the gear on the main rotor, you'll be able to change that out. Comes with some Allen keys and some little ball link pieces to where you can make easy repairs if you were to have an accident with this. All right, now that you have the helicopter out of the box, it's time to start going over some of the features of the little ready-to-fly controller before you go out to fly it. So let's go over our switch orientation for your first flight. This one right here on the top is your throttle hold switch. It's actually called hold T on the top of your transmitter. When the switch is flipped up and towards you, it is going to be in what's called throttle hold. At that point, you can move the throttle stick anywhere you want, but the motor will not run. You also have your DR and expo right here above the aileron side of the sticks. This one in the bottom position is low rates and up is high rates. I do recommend you start in low rates for your first flights. So the top one is labeled F mode. Now when you flip from the top position to the bottom position, that's going to be what's considered an idle up. You'll actually hear the blades spin up when you hit that button and make it more responsive. You're also going to go from whenever you move the stick, the throttle curve goes up and down to where the throttle will stay at one constant speed the entire time you're flying. This is the mode you're going to want it in when you're trying to do any kind of inverted flying, is in that idled up position. And you'll physically hear the motor of the aircraft go, and you'll hear it. I mean, it's noticeable. The last switch here on the front is your gyro mode. So when you take off, the helicopter is going to be in self-leveling mode. If you want to disable that, all you do is flip that switch. That will take the helicopter and put it into its full acro mode, where you're actually going to be able to turn the helicopter inverted. It's no longer going to be self-leveling. You're going to be just flying a full collective pitch helicopter in that mode. Now, the last thing we need to do is actually talk about powering up the helicopter. It comes with this included little battery here, and you just charge it through the balance lead on the battery. Once you have it charged up, you're going to slide that into the back of the little helicopter. Make sure you put that balance lead somewhere where it doesn't get up into the gears of the motor. And then you can plug in the little tiny yellow connector here. It's an XT20 that you can plug in. So now that the helicopter is fired up, we can go over some of the features of an actual helicopter. Now, this is a full collective pitch, meaning whenever you have the stick at the bottom position, your blades are actually going to be negative. Now, this doesn't just do throttle here. Like I said, this is your blade pitch. So when you're in idle up, the blades will be spinning constantly at the same speed. So to go up and down, what it actually does as we move the stick is change the pitch of the blades instead of the motor speed. So in that case, when you go to idle up, you need to be at least in the center or a little above on your stick that would most can be considered the throttle on aircraft, but in helicopter world, this is the collective. And what you're doing is you're making sure there's enough positive pitch there that when you switch that, the helicopter can maintain flight. Anytime you go below half stick, you're into a negative position, and that's how the helicopter can actually flip over and fly upside down. So when the helicopter is inverted, remember, throttle down is actually up, and that will make it climb. So that is how that works. You can also take and go on and wiggle some of your other sticks. So if you want to check your roll, you can put the blades straight forward and backwards like I have them here on the table, and then you can push that stick left and you will see that the blades will make it tilt to the left. If I go to the right, the blades will tilt to the right. If you want to check forward and backwards, you can actually turn the blades horizontally, and then you can pitch forward, and you'll see that the helicopter would be pitching forward. And if we pitch backwards, you'll see the blades change angle again, and we would be flying backwards. Now you can't check the tail boom because it is a motor-driven tail boom, so they're always going to be just speeding up or slowing down to keep the helicopter straight. Well guys, this is the little XK130. I hope a lot of you check this out. It's a really fun little helicopter for not a lot of money, but it has all the full features you want in a full collective pitch helicopter. You have some nice aluminum parts on the head, and they're pretty darn strong against crashes. Now, you're not going to go full throttle into the ground inverted and be able to make it out of it, but most crashes, if you see them coming, flip that throttle hold switch, just kind of let it bounce out in the big grass, and this thing's going to be not broken very much. I mean, they're so lightweight that it really can take a hit and not get too damaged. So if you've been thinking about getting into the world of 3D helicopters, this is a really fun, inexpensive way to do it. It flies fantastic for a small, cheap helicopter like this, and I think a lot of you guys are really going to enjoy this helicopter. Well guys, whether it's air, land, or sea, you can get it right here at Motion RC. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new to the YouTube channel, and until next time, we'll see you on the next video. Bye guys.